Hey guys, Tony Maritato here. I was recently asked, what's the best way to measure your own joint range of motion if you don't have a physical therapist around to do it for you? There is no limit to the number of little tools and gadgets and things that we can use. So if you guys take a look at this, let me see if I can get the camera. This is 90 degrees, right there, right? This arm, the horizontal arm, the vertical arm. If I go to here, that's 5 degrees off. This is 90, this is 95. If you guys don't see it, it's because it's very subtle. Don't get hung up on the number. The numbers don't mean anything. You didn't get a knee replacement so you could get a better number on a device like this. You got a knee replacement so you could go walk in the park without pain, so you could play with your grandkids, so you can get off the commode without help. That's why you got a knee replacement. I don't like this. I think there's no benefit to this. At best, it makes you feel bad because you're not achieving some arbitrary number. But if you're absolutely dead set on, I want to measure my range of motion, I want the number for peace of mind, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Let's just say, for example, I'm sitting at home, I don't have somebody who can help me. How do I use this silly thing? First, we want to try to find the center of the knee. Assuming your knee is somewhat swollen and limited range of motion, you're going to be guessing at this anyway. If I feel around on the sides of my knee, I can feel what we call the joint line. I can feel where the tibial bone comes up, the femoral bone comes down, and I can feel a little bit of a gap in between there. When the knee's really swollen, you might not feel it all that well. Can figure out what I'm calling the pivot point, then I'm going to use that as my center. And what I'm going to do is, all of these devices have this little hole in the middle, so I'm going to line that up with what's basically the center of the knee. You can get a marker or a pen, and you might be able to create a little dot on the knee where the center point is. Even if it's not exactly in the center, the goal is that you measure consistently every time. As long as you set the goniometer up the same way every time, you're still going to be able to measure change. Change is what we're looking for. We don't care about the absolute number. I want to know, it was this when I started, it's this when I'm finished. I either improved or I did. That's what you're looking for. So let's say I put a little dot right there. I line that dot up. Now, if you guys can see down at the ankle, what I'm looking for is there's a bump on the outside of my ankle. I want to line this up with that bump the best I can. What I would do is, there's a hole there, so you can put a little dot through that hole, so I'm lined up the same way. So I've got a dot on my knee, I've got a dot down here. I'll keep that in position. You will be able to feel the pointy part of your hip. A lot of times if somebody develops hip bursitis, when they push on that pointy part, it's really painful. That's consistent with hip bursitis, but you're looking for that bone that sticks out kind of right behind, here's my pocket, right behind that pocket. I want to try and line this arm up with that bone, that protuberance, the best I can. I would put another dot here. So now I've got 3 dots. A dot at the top, a dot at the bottom, a dot in the middle. I'm lining those up. I'm going to bend my knee as far as it'll let me go. Remember, discomfort is okay. We don't need pain. And most of these devices are specifically designed to be kind of tight. So when I take it off, now I can look at it and I can see what my measurement is. And so right here, I'm looking at 84 degrees. Now, I might do my exercises, I might do my mobilizations, do whatever it is you're going to do to improve the range. I come back, I find my 3 dots, I line up again, I bring it into position, I peel it off, and hopefully, you know, it's reasonable that within an episode of working out and range of motion, you gain a couple degrees. You shouldn't lose any range of motion. It's not bad if you stay where you are, but it's reasonable to say, well, I gained 3 degrees or I gained 5 degrees. Certainly if you're, you know, depending on where you are in the rehab process, you might be gaining more, you might be gaining less. But this is consistently kind of the tool of choice for those of you who just absolutely need to have a number to sleep well at night.